Liftoff.
What's up, Statesman Nation? We're back with the third episode of our student athlete question and answer. How's it going today, Nick?
It's been a minute, Madison. We weren't able to do anything last week because we were doing hiring for our women's soccer head coaching position, but I know we still got a lot of questions to get to, so happy to be back at it today.
Thanks for taking some time to do this. So the first question, this year was my freshman year at William Penn, and I loved the experience. William Penn has been the best thing for me. Will my experience change at all once we return to normal?
You know, I think our experience for our students and our student athletes is going to get better. And that might be crazy to say, people would think right now, but part of the reason why I think it's going to get better is that, in times of crisis, folks that are in leadership positions or in positions of influence let the crisis either define them or they let the crisis use as an opportunity to learn new things and get better. And our staff has not let this situation define them at all or define the school at all. In fact, we're looking at it as a way to how do we do things at a higher level and taking that time to be able to improve our way of delivering a high level student experience. So one, I think that the experience is not going to be worse. I actually think the experience is going to be better because we're learning new things. We're learning how to communicate in different ways, and we're having to be able to shift as leaders and as coaches, and whether student life advisors or just wherever across the board. And so I think we're going to be better off. And so I'm very optimistic about it. And, Benedictine College's student newspaper just came out with an article, and the toughest place to play in the NAI or in the Heart of America Athletic Conference was voted William Penn by the coaches. And so that special atmosphere where we're all in this thing together, I think will not only continue, but I think it'll be enhanced. So I'm really excited for when our students get back because I think the experience is going to get better and better.
Yep, I know we all can't wait to be back on campus.
Yeah.
Next question. Various conferences at different levels are instituting limits and structure in terms of online communication, meetings, and instructions between coaching staff and players. Do you have to get special permission from the NAIA?
So that's really an NCAA thing at the moment. The NAIA has not put any rules or our conference on. Part of it is that, and I would battle if there was a rule that was put in place. I'd battle that till the very end because right now is a time where our student athletes need us. And we need to be able to communicate that with them no matter where they're at. And I just think it would be counterproductive, and I think it would having some type of limitation would not injecting the confidence that our coaches and our staff members have to bring every single day to be there for our student athletes. I mean, our why is to build our student athletes to be the best they can be, and by the time they're done here, if we haven't built them into being a better person and provided them those opportunities, then what are we doing? It's not just about winning ball games. And I think if we have the holistic, full approach to, caring about our student athletes, we're going to build them into great people, great mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, parents, employees, leaders in their community. And so, no, we don't have any limitations on that. We're encouraging our coaches to reach out and communicate with their students. I know a lot of our coaches have been using Zoom to communicate with their teams just to check in and say, how are things going? The other side to this is that, we're going to end up, and it's not being talked about a whole lot, and I know you and I have talked about it before, but there's going to be some serious mental health concerns among people, and it's not getting covered right now because of COVID-19. And the more that we can provide some normalcy and the ability to connect with people is going to be a really good thing. So no, we don't have any restrictions, and I've actually instructed our staff to be very intentional about communicating with our student athletes right now in a very intentional way through the virtual means that we have here.
Mm-hmm. Next question. How is the NCAA's decision to give student athletes in the spring an extra year of eligibility going to impact the NAIA?
Well, yeah, I think a school like ours, almost all of our student athletes get some type of scholarship. And, at our level, it's a lot of partial scholarships. And at the Division I level and the high level Division II, they're going to run into a situation where they're not going to have enough scholarships for student athletes. And so we've already seen some freshmen that we're looking at, either us or a Division II school, or some student athletes that are at Division II schools contact us and inquire in about coming here. And so I know our coaches are really excited about it. One thing that we've made sure that we haven't stopped doing is we're continuing to recruit and communicate with student athletes that want to play at college, because when this whole thing wears down and we're back to some sense of normal, people are still going to want a place to compete and get an education as a student athlete. And so we've got to continue to provide those opportunities and continue to communicate. So I know some schools have really stopped recruiting right now. We're not. And I know in the NCAA, they can't recruit right now. We're recruiting because we want to provide opportunities. We feel like, and you're a great example of this, that William Penn can be a life-changing place. I benefited from that when I was a student as well and moving into this role. And so we have to continue to provide those opportunities. So I think the trickle-down effect is that, we will see maybe some student athletes that were maybe between us and a Division II or maybe a low-level Division I. Instead of waiting to make a decision, they're just going to make that decision. And then whether that's freshmen coming in or people transferring. So I actually think it can enhance the talent pool all across the board. And, I think that's going to be an unintended consequence for probably 3 or 4 years to come, just based on the eligibility that, especially with spring sports, the eligibility that spring sports were given. And then just, NCAA not being able to recruit right now. So no, we're excited. We think it's a great opportunity for us.
Yep. Looking forward to the future. Well, that's all the questions I have today, Nick. So thank you for taking some time.
Yep. Thanks, Madison. Great to see you.
You too.